All right, Jeff. Um, so everyone, I think everybody is aware, but I'm Scott Lobenthal, president of Hangs Up, and we have Jeff. And how do you pronounce your last name, Jeff?
Novacek.
Levante. Okay. Well, my last name's Lobenthal, so a lot of
Yeah,
people have issues with that as well.
right.
Jeff owns Rise Softball. And Jeff, do you want to kind of explain, Rise Softball, what it is, and how long it's been in existence, and things like that?
Yep.
Give a little background.
Yeah. So I started Rise Softball actually on June 20th of 2017. Hosted my first event at Central Michigan University. And I'm actually from Midland, Michigan here. And hosted our first event. And really it's been quite a journey since then. Actually, as of just moments ago here, we've had our 636th commit since I started Rise Softball now almost 5.5 years ago. So we've really grew, and ultimately what we are is we're a girls high school softball scouting service. That's our number one goal. That's the entire reason why I started this, is to help connect players and college coaches together. And that's really ultimately what we do here at Rise. I really want to thank Scott for putting this together here. Me and Scott kind of chatted, I'd say probably 2 or 3 weeks ago now. And I gave Scott really a full-on overview of really what we do here at Rise and how we assist players on to the next level. And also, I don't want to forget about Darius as well. Darius was on the call with us, and we chatted for a long time and explained all this. And we thought it would be only necessary to really push this along and explain it all to you, is what I've told the coaches. And I want to obviously explain it all to the players and parents of really what we do here at Rise, so you guys get a full-on understanding of what we do, how we assist on, and what really takes place here with us. Is that it for now, or I can go ahead and share right into my screen?
Yep.
I'll go right ahead.
Yep.
I told you I'm a talker. I'll take right over.
No problem.
And part of this too, you're gonna lose my face here for a second, because I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And the part of the reason why we wanted to do the Zoom calls for this particular reason, so I can share my screen and really walk you through literally everything of Rise Softball. If you guys haven't been to the website, here is the website, risesoftball.com. Everything to what we do is really consisting of the website. And I'm going to go back and go through here what I call our mission and kind of about Rise and explain really all of what we do here. So ultimately, we host showcase or scout days at all around the entire Midwest region, really through Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin. Now that the borders are open back up, we go back over to Ontario, and really host showcases or scout days. And when I talk about a showcase or a scout day, it is exactly the same thing. The only difference is with a scout day, it's only open to that particular organization. So meaning if we set one with Hang Tough, for example, it's only open to the Hang Tough
I'm just gonna
players.
make nachos.
Whereas a regular showcase is open to whoever wants to go ahead and register. That's really the two differences. So when I say scout day or showcase, that's what I mean. Really, here's our format. I'm going to walk you right through it here. At all of our events, players are going to be recorded in the following areas. They're going to be measured in their home to first times, their home to home times. They're going to get their exit velocity tested. They're going to go through their rounds of batting practice, do their defensive evaluations, whether that's at 2 or 3 positions, depending upon what you register for. So that's going to be the outfielder evaluation, infield evaluation, which as we do our infield, we do third base, shortstop, first base. Catchers do their pop times. Pitchers always finish up throwing last at the end. Notice I did not say second base. The reason being is because while we're doing our evaluations, we're getting their arm strength, and we move all second basemen over to shortstop for that reason, because the throw from second base to first base, if you're letting it rip and fire, probably going to hurt our first baseman a little bit. So we want to have you show off the arm a little bit. So we always move second basemen over to shortstop at that particular time. I'm going to go ahead and pull up a player profile, because ultimately, here's what we do at the event, and that's what we do. But here's what comes of it. I'm just going to click on the first player right there at the top, Abigail Robakowski. So every player that comes in with us is going to get an Adidas Rise t-shirt. We're sponsored by Adidas. Before really the event begins, we're going to go ahead and get your picture taken right here. All your player information is put right here on your Rise profile. So your school, your travel team, your height, weight, GPA, your email address. There's 2 other pieces of information that are in your profile, but I have this set right now for the general public, not for me or a college coach. When a college coach logs into the website, they're also able to see the player's phone number, which would be listed under here, and the player's home address, which would be listed under here. The general public going to risesoftball.com cannot see that, okay? But it is in your profile. Then we go back through and say, okay, well, what were the players' measurable stats? So at the event, this is really what we're collecting. What were the home to first times, their home to home times? What was the player's exit velocity? What was the pop time? The infield arm strength, the catcher's arm strength, all of that is put into the player profile. Now, what really makes us unique more than anything else is we go ahead and we video it. And we create each player a skills video here right at the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and play it. Now, the one thing, I apologize if it does skip a little bit. When we do Zoom calls, it'll want to skip just from the lag time. But we're going ahead and we do multiple angles for their hitting and of their like two camera angles from hitting. And then we also do multiple camera angles from positions as well. So ultimately, this is our goal, is we're here to show you off to college coaches. I'll just let this play all the way through. And then we should get, we'll zoom back on a throw here. And then she's registered when she came to the showcases. She did third base and obviously catcher. But if you were doing outfield, we would get your throws to second base typically, and then also a throw like which we would do in an indoor format of like make the throw look like it's going to the plate on a pop-up for that matter. So we obviously, that's what we're recording at that time. First basemen would then throw to second base and then throw to third base, and we're doing the same thing. We're recording everything there at that particular time as well. Ultimately here to show you off and get your information out to college coaches. All right. And then pitching as well. That would be the exact same thing there with the pitching. Is pitchers will throw multiple different pitches. So it'll be labeled in there. We'll do a side view angle, we'll do a back view angle, and we'll just showcase the player. Now, one thing you can see here in Abigail's profile is you'll see multiple skills videos. She actually came to 3 events here with us before obviously her committing. She started when she was a freshman, and every year came back and updated all of her information with us. And so one of the things we always say is what we get at the event and what makes us valid with a lot of college coaches is the statistics and numbers that we get off the player. We're able to change teams, schools, height, weight, GPA, anything like that. One of the things that we cannot change unless we get it from us is the statistics of the player, meaning what was the what was the home to first, the exit velocity, the arm strength. That's where come on back and we update all of the players' information. We'll recreate another skills video, add the most recent one right there at the top in particular too. I noticed that she did not put in, we also do what we call an intro highlight section. I'm going to go ahead and grab a player and show you one that has come through us, and I'll give you a full-on example of what I mean. So not only do we do the player video and such there, but you're also able to do a little write-up of yourself. And so right here, when we click the intro highlights section here, whatever you want to put in your profile, we want you to go ahead and write this up. So meaning you may also play other sports. We want coaches to know kind of more about you sometimes, not just of softball. What other sports do you play? Are you in the band? Are you involved in the student council, church groups, anything like that? While also, you got any cool stats, or I was first team all conference, all region, whatever that may be, all district. led my team in stolen bases, batting average, home runs. We want you to go ahead and highlight yourself. And we go ahead and you can write this in and put it in this particular section as well. So you can see kind of this player did this before she committed. We want to obviously have that added in there. If you also have any clips, like game clips or clips like you might hit at a practice or something that might have happened, we recommend players to go ahead and just like collaborate it all on like a Vimeo or the YouTube, and all you have to do is send us that link and we can put that link. Please check out my game highlighted clips right here, right in the bottom. We're able to add that stuff to it. So ultimately, that's our goal with what we're doing here by creating this player profile. After every event, once this all gets created, it takes us about 2 days to get the profile uploaded up on the website. That will be the picture, the measurable stats, the contact information. It does take us about 2 weeks after the event to go ahead and go back through and editing out all the skills videos before we add them to the profile. Right after that, about 2 days after we get all the videos uploaded to the player profile, we send out all the players' information to every college coach around the region. So every coach through Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, at every level from the NJCAA all the way up to the Division I level will get the players' information. Now, what we also say is this is your profile. This is your recruiting process. So I'm going to click back here. And I'll go back to Abby's profile, for example. This is your link. So meaning if you guys are playing in a tournament in the summertime and you want coach to know of your travel team schedule, or you're sending your information out to coaches, we want you to grab this link right here off the top of your profile, post it in the email. Say, hey, coach, I'm going to be playing here this coming weekend in Grand Blanc, for example. Love to have you come on out. Here's our game schedule. Here's also my Rise player profile. And boom, put that link in there. So now all of a sudden a coach can click on it, see your information, see what you look like, got your stats, and then they can watch your video all right there in one. We want to obviously have you help facilitate the process by sending your information out. So this link is yours to use. Also, all of our videos that we have, you notice they're all uploaded to our Rise Softball YouTube channel. So if you are using any other service or just wanted that standalone video, you can grab that right off of our Rise Softball YouTube channel. I'm going to go back to, yes, sir.
And then we also talked about, and the way that Hang Tough's website is set up is that we can put these links on our website page with our team.
That's correct.
When they click under our players, they can click on this link and it will take them to Rise Softball for these statistics. So that's
100%. So that's another big thing. Great point, because we've had it before where a coach had gone to a game, and there's a lot of times this happens. For example, a coach may go out to watch Abigail play, right? And that's their ultimate goal, is to watch her play. Well, all of a sudden they may go out and on a neighboring field or something at a tournament, go, man, who is that shortstop or third baseman? Like, man, okay, she plays for that Hang Tough organization, but man, I didn't have a roster or anything. A lot of times they go back and check out the website and they, okay, I got to figure out who that player was. I really liked what I saw there. And the coolest part is, and we've had this happen a number of times, because organizations link the player profile into the roster, a coach can go ahead and even go back on the Hang Tough website and click on, like, go through the roster, click on players' names, be like, oh, yep, that was her. That was her. I remembered it kind of her actions, that in her mannerisms that she had. It's crazy how I say technology helps coaches find players at the same time. So absolutely, you're able to log or link all of that into the website as well. This is I call it more of like our 2.0 version of our website. This is our second time we've really went through and updated our website. And one of the most important things to what we did is when we went through this, this was the number one thing that coaches had wanted, was this find a player tab. As we grew as a business and grew helping these players, coaches go ahead and recruit based upon needs majority of the time. And what I mean by that is they look at the roster. as years ahead and say, okay, at the end of this season, I need to replace 2 of my pitchers, a catcher, a third baseman, and 2 outfielders, for example. And what do? That's obviously where they're looking for first. They're looking to go ahead and find players that they feel can fill the voids to what they lost. Well, a lot of budgets are different at every single level of for college. So meaning community college level compared to a Division I budget for recruiting is drastically different. Some don't have much of anything. Some are able to fly all over the country and watch and find players. Well, one of the biggest things that coaches had wanted is to go ahead and narrow up the search. So meaning, I'm just going to do this because we're all from Michigan. Say there's a school that usually only recruits in the state of Michigan. Why? Because it's the closest. They don't have a big recruiting budget to go out there, and they're looking for a 2024. I'll go catcher. That I'll do this even better for an example. Let's just hypothetically say we're Hillsdale College. And I use Hillsdale because I know they have a higher GPA requirement to even get into the school. I think it's close to a 3.8-ish, right around there to even get in. That's not including the ACT. They're able to go ahead and search all the 2024 catchers that meet that criteria as well. So they can go ahead and click on the players, watch their video, see everything of the player, and that really helps them through the recruiting process as well. So that's the beauty of really us creating that find a player tab for the players. Coaches are able, and all the players, if you notice, they'll be under the players tab, and they're all listed by classes right up in here. So depending upon what classes are there, whether you're the class of 2026, 2027, all of your information will be right there, that what you can find where your player profile would be at the same time. All of our upcoming events. So our next event is actually in 2 weeks, which is going to be in Grand Rapids at Diamond Sports Training. That's our next event. And then we do through, I call it our holiday showcase series is what is coming up. We're going to Illinois, then we're going to Ohio, then we're getting to Indiana, taking a short break. And then we do what we call our preseason preview tour. So right before the start of the high school season, we do another round of showcases in all the states. We're actually getting back to Ontario again. And we do another showcase. Once the players start the high school season, it is illegal for players to go ahead and do any form of showcase or attend college camps or anything for that matter once the players are starting the high school season. So we get our showcases in one more time, and then high school season begins at that point. So here's our upcoming showcase schedule. Now, one of the other things that we created about almost a year and a half ago now is our rankings. And this is a thing that is solely done off the players' measurable stats. It has nothing to do with opinions of players or anything. It has solely to do with where the players match up based upon the measurable stats that we have collected at the events. And it's all put into a database. The database spits out the top 50. So here's the top 50 of the class of 2023 that is here. And it all strictly goes by classes in particular. So you have a chance to make the top 50. These are updated every 3 months. So basically every 3 months, we've at least had a showcase in every area at that particular time. And now we're going ahead and updating all of the rankings. So our last ranking was on October 1st. Now our next ranking is coming up on January 1st. Then we do April 1st and July 1st. So every couple months, we update the rankings as we enter more people into the database here. We just launched the leaderboard, the player leaderboard, this past summer. We did it in July. So you also have a chance to get on the top 10 player leaderboard. So what are the top home to first times, the home to home times of each particular class? What's the exit velocity? They're all right here. You can go ahead and click on the top arm velocity to see who it is of each particular class. It's all listed here. You just have to click on it. And you can see who's got the top time. So you got a chance to even make, we called our top 10 leaderboard to see where players stack up. The cool thing is always seeing the thing that I love the most is when a player returns coming back, I love seeing how much better players get. I have done this long enough. I have rarely seen a player come back and not have every one of their measurable stats almost improve. That's the best part about it is watching the players' continual improvement, and giving them an extra little motivation to try to get on the leaderboard is a little fun thing to do as well. You can also see all the players that have committed along the way. We just had players kind of go off the board really every day. This is the committing time of year for classes, for class of 2023 and the class of 2024. And I do have to update this little guy back here because I said as of today, we've helped now 636 players move on to the college level since we started Rise Softball. So it's been absolutely a pleasure and a joy. I feel like I'm ultimately the luckiest guy in the world to be able to do what I do here at Rise Softball. I do want to go ahead and I'm going to play. I created a little video here, and I wanted to go ahead and play the video. And then at that point, I would love to go ahead. I kind of give you a full overview of really what we do and broke it down without taking up your entire night. As I told Scott and you guys, you can probably tell I can talk. I would love to just go ahead and play this video. And then if you guys have any questions for me, I'd love to go ahead and answer all the questions for you. Before I open it up, one of the other things that that we do a lot of that is tough to show because it's not obviously on the website as much. But we do a lot with, actually, I'll go back down. We do a lot on social media. And you can go ahead and see we have a Rise Softball Midwest Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram page. And this gets added in regularly, multiple times a day. Usually we post. And the beauty of it is, as I said early on, we're ultimately a connector between the player and the college coach. And a lot of ways to do that as well is also through the social media aspect. So we do every day, we do what we call a Rise profile of the day. We do video spotlights. We do highlights of commits, signings, throwback Thursdays. We're doing a lot even while the events are taking place to promote and push the players as the event's happening at that time. It's amazing how there's other ways that obviously the player profile and everything is the number one way, but we've also been at events and all of a sudden we posted a video of a player hitting in the cage and my phone happened to go off multiple times while we're doing that. And all of a sudden the coach goes, who was that just hit? I need her information. What you posted looked phenomenal, right? And so we're obviously getting your information out there on the social media platforms is huge because coaches follow and see what we do. So we're obviously pushing and promoting a lot of things on the social media aspect too. There's another way to get information in front of coaches. That's ultimately what players have to do. That's what we do to help continuously promote players at the same time. I will go ahead here and I would love to take any particular questions of what you guys have here at this time.
I'll kick things off. First off, thanks for taking the time to give us the presentation and really show us what you offer. Once the event happens, I know you said it takes a couple days to get the profile together and then a couple weeks to do the videos. Is there any follow-up after that in terms of from a metric standpoint of, hey, this was your exit velocity. These are some of the things that you can do to improve that, or just different maybe like tips or drills or anything like that to say, this is what you got, but here's how you can do better. Here's how you can improve those metrics.
Yeah, you ask a very good question. And the hardest part for me at any event is not to coach. And because ultimately I'm a coach at heart, just like, majority of coaches that are out there. The hardest thing for me to do at an event is not coach. And I can't, because ultimately with what we do, you're coming to showcase your abilities to get that information in front of college coaches. We don't go ahead and give a formal feedback to players, because at the end of the day, the way I look at it in a lot of ways is, yes, I have now, because of being involved in this, I get a lot of coaches ask me for my own personal opinion. However, what I say more than anything else, it's up to the college. What I may think at times is not what the college thinks or what they're particularly looking for. If you come back to me and ask me, hey, here's what I did, what do you think I need to work on? I'm going to go ahead and give you my absolute honest opinion, and tell you, hey, here's where I see you fit or anything. But we don't do that in particular of saying, where should you fit or what should you work on? Because that is, I say, we're the scouting service behind it. We're not we don't do a teaching at the events for that matter. But I will more than happy tell you whatever I feel, and as my coach at heart would love to help you out in any which way, and tell you what I think you need to work on and give you plenty of drills to do that, because I am a coach. 100% I do that to players. But the part of the reason why as well is because I say it this way. If I were to go ahead and say to a player, and I call it, so I'm not a dream crusher at times too, right? So what I mean by that is, say you have goals and the player has goals to play Division I softball, and I say, you know what, you're probably more a Division III level player. Well, who cares what I think? I look at that more than anything else to say, well, if that's my goal, I'm going to go figure out my way to go do that. The reason I say that, because I remember being me as a younger kid. And people would tell me the exact same thing. No, you're not good enough to go do that. You can't play Division I baseball. You can't do that. What I do, I got there. I just took a different route. I went to the community college first, proved myself there, worked my way up to Division II, then eventually finished up with playing my college career at Central Michigan University. So ultimately, I say in a lot of ways why we don't even give feedback like that to where we think the player should fit is because we don't want to crush dreams. Every player has their own dream. If you want my honest opinion of where I think a player could fit as well, I'll absolutely tell you. But that's ultimately up to the college coach to determine whether they like the player or not like the player at the same time. So that's I'm sorry if that was my very long-winded answer. But I kind of touched on 2 points on that one as well. So I hope I answered that for you.
You did. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. I did get a message, and I'm sorry, I minimized it. Somebody sent where'd the chat go? What do we do once we have committed? So I want to ask this is, when you say committed, are you meaning committed to attending an event or have committed to a college at that particular time?
What
I
do we
just
do
got-
like once we've committed to a college? Like we've put our verbal commit to that coach.
Oh,
like do we
yeah.
email you or
Yep, absolutely. And like you said right here, yeah. So absolutely, all these players have messaged us in particular. So like then from there, I go ahead and create a commitment graphic and send it over. We obviously post it on our website and also all of our social media platforms. And then I will also send you the graphic. So if you want to post it too as well, and then we go ahead and change that right in the player profile too. So then the cool thing is too, is we get a lot of people, not only just college coaches, but a lot of people seeing where all the players fall. And that's what I obviously like about the website and everything else, is coaches are always coming to the website seeing who's going where. It kind of gives everybody an idea around the entire area within the Midwest of seeing who's going to what school. That's been a really cool part of the website too. Anybody still got questions?
Jeff, could you kind of go over maybe some of the cost items
Yeah.
of what we discussed?
Yep. So, the cost of an event is, I'll actually go right. Actually, just pull it up for you here. I'll show it this way. I'll just click on this particular event, for example, all the details, and I'll say it this way. Whether we do the event or the scout day, which Scott and I have been talking a lot about more of the scout day of us coming down to your guys's, doing it with your organization at your facility and doing it. How this will all take place though still is I will send you guys out this registration form and it have all the details of the date, the time, location, what's going to be taking place, what you get. This is the registration form of the event. Really what we need here, and when we fill it out, we collect all the player information right here with your home address, your phone number, email. It's taking place all right here. And then you have options. So meaning if you showcase at 2 positions at a regular event, it's $259. If you showcase at 3 positions, it's $299. Now, the difference being from a scout or from a regular showcase to a scout day is we actually discount the players $25. So now instead of it being $259, it's now $235 or $275 for for 3 positions at our events. So that is the cost associated with what we do. Now your profile will be up until you graduate high school at that particular time. Once you graduate high school, we move them all over into the alumni tab at that time. And then you kind of come off the Rise website as far as your player profile under the active classes. It goes in the alumni tab. And this is we would create this all for the Hang Tough organization.
And that includes a t-shirt too, right?
That's correct. Yep. Includes the t-shirt and all.
And that's how you track them and you get a number.
Correct.
Shirts,
Yep. So one of the biggest things that we always say at the beginning of an event when when I kind of address and tell everybody kind of the format for the day is every player will be given a number. Unfortunately, we have a lot of players in the system and I don't know every single player at that moment. I put it this way because this is what I do every day. I almost know every single player in the entire system because that's what I look at every day. But what helps us identify it when we go back through the video editing is before we do everything, you're always going to have to turn around. We show the number on camera. We say the number into the camera. And then as soon as we say the number into the camera, I usually yell out the number that kind of gets the player to turn around. And then we're going live at that particular time. So that helps us as we go back through the editing purposes. Every player has a number associated with them on our roster. And it's just a random number given based upon t-shirts that we hand out. It's not jersey numbers by any means. So
well, I do like the package, Jeff. It's something that we've talked about. I know it's we had BTL and some of the families are aware of that came in last year, and I think they fell a little short with what we were looking for. And it sounds like this is a complete package and it will work well with our website. And, obviously we want to give the players the option to get this additional college exposure if they want it.
Yep, absolutely. This is, I said it at the beginning, but I'll say it again too. Like I said, I'll go back and just touch on this personally and I kind of forgot about this at the beginning on how Rise got started. Quite frankly, Rise was a dream of mine that I had for some period of time, and it got kind of pushed a little bit more to me when I've been fortunate enough of being around the game of softball. And my former college baseball coach got into playing men's fast pitch softball here in the town of Midland because I didn't even know it existed. And got really hooked into it. And all of a sudden started traveling the country and traveling the world playing this crazy game of fast pitch softball. and it's shown me the world now. I've been, I was a 5-time member of Team USA. I've played on the #1 team in the world. I've caught the world's best pitcher for a season. I've been very lucky to do what I've been doing. Well, when I made the USA team back in 2017, I was working at a university and had everything set to go. And I was going to be missing some time because I had to go play in the World Championships. And a few days before I was leaving, they basically told me, you're either working for us or you're playing softball. You're not doing both. And that's all I needed to hear. I was going to play some softball. And so I walked away at that time from the position that I had, which was quite frankly what I needed to really get this going. And it's the greatest decision that's ever happened. At the time, you're scared, but now looking back at it and seeing how many lives are affected by, you know, this little format, little website to what we've created and help players, that's the coolest part of all. Is I've had dreams just like all the players here have dreams of playing at the next level, and being a facilitator between the coach and the player and us being a tool to help that out is by far the coolest thing in the world. There's no better days. Like, as I just rushed here to get into this meeting, I was at a signing of a player, and I absolutely love that. Those are the coolest things, is now seeing players get their opportunities to fulfill the dreams that they once have, and knowing that we have a small hand in that it's a lot of fun. Changing the lives of young people on a daily basis, I love. It's very fortunate. So that's why I love Rice softball.
That's why I love doing what I do too. So
Right.
It's,
Yep.
it's very rewarding
Very, very rewarding.
for sure.
I will say this. I know some people are shy when we have a big meeting. If anybody has any questions, you can see right here, it says to contact us. Please go ahead and fill that out. It's a message. You'd be able to come directly to me. Also, if you go under the Our Mission, hit the Meet the Directors tab, you'll see right here. I don't know why the picture's not appearing. Give me a call, shoot me an email. All my information's right here as well. So please don't hesitate to give me a call. Like I said, this is literally what I do all day, every day, is help players move on. So please don't hesitate to give me a call if you may be a little shy to ask a question here tonight too.
Well, there's not any other questions, Jeff. I just wanted to say thank you, and you know,
Absolutely.
both Darius and I both really appreciate your time and
Yeah.
the information that you've provided. And I know we're looking probably at the January 22nd date
Yep.
that we discussed before.
Yep.
And I'll coordinate with you from here.
Sounds great. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to working with the whole organization. It's going to be a blast.
Thanks, Jeff. It's Darius. Thanks.
Hey, Darius. Yeah, you bet.
How's it going?
I'm doing great, my man. Yeah, looking forward to working with all you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate you doing this for us.
You bet. You bet. It was fun chatting with you guys the first time through, and love doing it again. So no, I greatly appreciate it. And we'll be in touch soon. And like I said, if anybody had any more questions, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. You guys have a great night.
Yep, you too. All right, thank you.
You too. Thanks
Bye-bye.
again.